following video is a documentary whose sole purpose is to discuss with you views of school dorm visitation. A large number of South Carolina State University students feel that they are not being treated like adults and find it fitting to compare the rules of South Carolina State University with large schools like USC. Some of the faculty feel that students are not mature enough to handle responsibilities. In this documentary, we'll start off by asking administrators their feelings on this issue.
I work in a new complex. I'm a grad assistant. I've been working for housing since my freshman year. And what I do is basically regulate visitation, health and safety inspections, and let people inside the dorm when they get locked out.
Do you think the visitation policy is too strict?
No, I don't feel like the visitation policy is too strict. For the simple fact that it's a lot of things that can happen, especially now since they changed it where each person can have 2 guests in their room, 2 male guests, and that's like 4 guys to a room, and you can have gang rape and rape, just stuff like that. So no, I don't feel like it's too strict. Now when I was in undergrad, I felt like it was too strict because I felt like there shouldn't be anybody telling me when I can have visitation because I'm grown. But now that I work for housing, I changed my mind. I see it different. It's for the student safety. The consequences.
The consequences for someone breaking the visitation policy.
They lose their visitation for either the semester or for a week. It depends on the resident educator. They might have to go to the judiciary board, and then they make the decision. And the judiciary board is like people that's inside the dorm, or it might go to Dr. Rowe's office, depending on how serious it was.
If you could, what would you change about the visitation policy?
The part that I would change is allowing each student to have 2 guests. 2 males, 2 females. Personally, I don't like that.
Golden One.
How do you feel about the dorm visitation policy?
I do not like the dorm visitation policy because I think that they take too many of our hours. I think that like having visitation can also help a student because we need to study in our rooms as well. And if we have our computers in our room, then our friends might need to come and use our computer, or we need to work on a project together. And so visitation hinders that. So I don't too care for it.
Being an adult, how do you feel about being told when you can and cannot have visitation?
I don't like people telling me what to do. So that's regardless of whether I'm an adult or not. But I do think that it should be our right to have visitation, especially if all of us are 18 and above, legal adults. I do think it should be our right.
Without totally getting rid of the visitation policy, what would you do to change it?
Really, if anything, I would just change probably the part about overnight visitation, because to me, if you're going to be in there till 12 or 1 o'clock, you might as well. I mean, it's really not that big of a difference between being there from 12. For me, to say that from 12 until in the morning, I mean, I don't really see that big of a difference. So if anything, I'd change that.
By them enforcing the visitation policy, what do you think that they're trying to prevent?
I really don't know, because I mean, it can't be trying to prevent people from getting pregnant because we're still going there unmonitored. So I guess they just don't want people sneaking indoors, setting off fire alarms and stuff. I guess that's the only thing they're trying to prevent.
We're in college, we're adults. You have campuses like USC, they don't have strict visitation policies. They're trusted to do what you're here to do. We are here to get an education, but we're also adults. And so, at some point, you should be able to know what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. I think there should be regulations with times where it shouldn't be certain people around after a certain time, but as far as strict policy of some people of the opposite sex, I don't think we should have it. As far as the prevention methods that they're using with the restrictions of the current policy on visitation, I don't think they can really prevent anything, because what happens at night can surely happen during the day.
Do you think it's fair that a homosexual can have their significant other in the dorm?
It's probably not fair, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, you can't like go around asking people who's what their sexual preferences. So I mean, there's really no way around it.
Yes, I do believe the current policy for visitation does discriminate against certain people, because not everyone on this campus is heterosexual. Whether you believe in that person's preference or not, I think everyone here pays their money and they should have the same rights as everybody else.
Well, I think that they really can't stop it if you still have same-sex visitation. I really don't have any opinion on that because I'm not a homosexual, but it doesn't hurt me in any way. I just think it's not fair that we don't have visitation.
The following video is a documentary whose sole purpose is to discuss with you views of school dorm visitation. A large number of South Carolina State University students feel that they are not being treated like adults and find it fitting to compare the rules of South Carolina State University with large schools like USC. They feel that the students at USC are being treated more like adults and want to be treated the same. Some of the faculty feel that students are not mature enough to handle responsibilities. In this documentary, we'll start off by asking administrators their feelings on this issue.